Good morning, students. Welcome to Chanakya Academy online classes, Standard 12 Science, subject Biology. Yes, so we have started with the component of ecosystem. In that, we have finished with productivity and decomposition. Now, the third is energy flow. Yes, so yesterday we have just started with energy flow. Okay, and in that we saw about photosynthetically active radiations. Okay, how the sun is helping in doing the process of photosynthesis in autotroph organisms. Okay, we did about producers and we did about consumers, that the energy is flowing from producers to consumers. Okay, then we saw about herbivores and carnivores also. So yes, let's move further. The consumers that feed on their herbivores are carnivores, or more correctly primary carnivores. Okay, those animals that depend on primary carnivores for food are labeled secondary carnivores. Okay, a simple grazing food chain is depicted below. Okay, so food chain, basically it is of two types. Okay, grazing food chain and detritus food chain. So grazing food chain always start with producers. Okay, so this is, again you need to note this. So a simple food chain is shown here: grass, which is producer, goat primary consumer, and man as a secondary consumer. Okay, yes, now let's move further. That is the second food chain, detritus food chain, that is DFC. It begins with dead organic matter. It is made up of decomposers, which are heterotrophic organisms. Okay, so this we know that detritus food chain will have decomposers. And what are decomposers? They are heterotrophic organisms. And basically, the fungi and bacteria comes in decomposers. They meet their energy and nutrient required by degrading dead organic matter or detritus. Okay, so whatever dead organic matters are present in soil, they break them, and from there they are getting the energy and nutrients. Okay, so these are known as saprophytes. Decomposers secretes digestive enzymes that break dead and waste material into simple inorganic material, which are subsequently absorbed by them. Okay, this also I have explained you that the complex organic material is being broken down by the digestive enzymes of fungi and bacteria, and they convert them into simple inorganic material, and that later on they absorb and get energy. Okay, in aquatic ecosystems, GFC is a major conductant for energy flow. As against this, in a terrestrial ecosystem, a much larger fraction of energy flows through the detritus food chain than through GF. So, in aquatic organisms, basically the detritus food chain gets, or you can say, more energy. Okay, detritus food chain may be connected with the grazing food chain at some level. Okay, some of the organisms of DFC are prey to GFC, and in natural ecosystems, some animals like cockroach, crow, etc. are omnivorous. Those natural interconnections of food chain make a food web. So this you know that we have a simple food chains, and when these food chains are interconnected by some of the animals, it forms a food web. Organism occupies a place in natural surroundings or in a community according to their feeding relationship with other organisms. Based on the source of their nutrients or food, organisms occupy a specific place in food chain that is known as trophic levels. Okay, so they have a place, and that is known as your trophic levels. So producers belong to the first trophic levels, herbivores to the primary consumers to the second, and carnivores as the secondary consumers to the third. Okay, so they have given the example over here. Let's see the example. We have primary producers. So primary producers always be our first trophic level. Okay, they are producers, so they will produce. So who will produce energy? Plants will produce energy, so they will do the process of photosynthesis. So phytoplanktons, grass and trees are primary producers. Okay, then producers will be consumed by animals, so they will be primary consumers. See, this chart, just read it very carefully and learn it very thoroughly, because there are terms like primary consumers, secondary consumers, primary producers, carnivores, herbivores, trophic levels. All these should be clear in your mind. Okay, yes, now primary consumers, so they will consume the producers. So as they will consume the producers, they will be called as herbivores. Okay, herbivores means they will eat or they are dependent on plants. So it is called as herbivores, and level will be second trophic level. Examples, zooplanktons, grasshoppers, okay, and cow. Come to the third trophic level. It is secondary consumer, and it will be carnivores like birds, fish and wolf. And then we have tertiary consumers, that will be top carnivore. Okay, and fourth trophic level like man and lion. Okay, so we have first trophic level, second, third and fourth trophic level. First trophic level are producers, then herbivores, carnivores and top carnivores like this. Okay, so just learn. Yes, now let's move further. The important point to note is that the amount of energy decreases at successive trophic levels. Okay, so when we are moving upward in the trophic level, the energy get decreased. Okay, when any organism die, it is converted to detritus or dead biomass that serves as an energy source for decomposers. Okay, organisms at each trophic level depend on those at the lower trophic level for their energy demand. Okay, each trophic level has a certain mass of living material at a particular time, called as standing crop. Okay, so each trophic level, okay, first, second, third, whatever trophic level, it has a mass of living material. Okay, this is true. So that mass of living material on in that particular time, it is called as standing crop. Okay, the standing crop is measured as the mass of living organism, or we call as biomass. So biomass is what? The mass of living organisms. Okay, the biomass of species is expressed as in term of fresh or dry weight. Measurement of biomass is term of dry weight in more accurate. Okay, the number of trophic levels in grazing food chain is restricted as the transfer of energy flows 10% law. Only 10% of the energy is transferred to each trophic level. Okay, so whenever we are moving into higher trophic level, energy will be transferred. So only 10% of the energy is transferred into the second trophic level. Okay. In nature, it is possible to have many levels: producers, carnivores, primary carnivores, secondary carnivores. Okay, so as the chain increases, the energy will also be transferred. Okay, they have shown with this diagram that how the energy or heat is transferred. Okay, so we have sun's energy is taken by the plant. Okay, that is our first trophic level. So some of the energy in the form of heat will be lost, so that plant will be consumed by our consumers, So during the consumer consumptions, some of the heat will be lost. So you can easily see whenever from one trophic level to another trophic level we are moving. Okay, whatever trophic level it may be, energy lost is seen. Okay, maybe it may be producers, herbivores, carnivores, or top carnivores. Whenever a chain is formed, heat energy is lost. Okay, and it is common in both, that is in detritus also and in grazing also. Yes, let's move further. Now we have different ecological pyramid, and these pyramids are very important. Just go through it. I'll explain you and learn them. Okay. The base of pyramid is broad and it narrows down at the apex. One gets a simpler shape whenever you express the food or energy relationship between organism. Okay, so we have pyramids that show that from one trophic level it is moving to another trophic level. Okay, so thus relationship is measured in terms of numbers, biomass, or energy. The base of each pyramid represent the producers or the first trophic level, while the apex represent tertiary or top level. Okay, so as we are moving upward, what is happening? The trophic level gets increased. The three ecological pyramid that are usually studied are pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. Just learn them. We have three ecological pyramids: pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. Now see here what they are showing. The pyramid of number in grassland ecosystem. They have taken an ecosystem. Specifically, they have taken grassland ecosystem. Okay, and they have shown the number over here. That is pyramid of number. The how many species are present. Okay, that is the number of individuals. So if we talk about primary producers, in grasslands, basically the grass will occupy the large area because it is a grassland ecology. So the number will be more. Then primary consumer, it will be consumed by rats. Okay, so that will be our primary consumers, or basically grasshopper. Okay, so grasshopper will be, the number will be less as compared to grass. Okay, so food chain, when it is moving upward, the number get decreased. Okay, so in number of individuals if we are talking about, or pyramid of numbers if we are talking about, at the base what will happen? You will get maximum numbers, okay, at the base, then it will be reduced. Now this is pyramid of biomass, that how much biomass is transferred. Again this pyramid is that the bottom will be more in number, biomass, that is weight, okay, will be more, followed by low at primary consumer, number will be less in secondary, and in tertiary it will be little less. But we have an inverted pyramid of biomass also. So small standing crop of phytoplankton support large standing crop of zooplanktons. Okay, so what we have in the aquatic ecosystem, okay, the pyramid of biomass may be inverted. Okay, that means the plants, that is the phytoplanktons, they will be less in number, but zooplanktons, they may be more in number. So the pyramid form will be inverted. This is pyramid of energy, and we know that as we are moving in upward, the energy loss is always there. Okay, So it is in joules. Sunlight, that the sun is providing this much of energy. When from sun it is moving towards the primary producers, number has decreased and decreased. So continuously, when we are moving in the food chain, the energy lost is always seen. Okay, the ideal pyramid of energy, observe that primary producers convert only 1% of the energy into sun available to them. Okay, yes, let's move further. Any calculation of energy content, biomass, or number has to be included all organisms at the trophic level. No generalization we make will be true if we take only a few individual at trophic level into account. So what they are doing is, at each ecosystem, okay, they are measuring the species, and with measuring the species they found this pyramid, which was helpful later on. Yes, now let's move further. In most ecosystem, all pyramid of number of energy and biomass are upright. Okay, this we have seen. That is, producers are more in number and the biomass than the herbivores. And herbivores are more in number and biomass than in carnivores. This we have seen. Also, energy at the low trophic level is always more than that of a high level. So this we have seen the graph, that is, it is always upright. But there are exceptions. If you were to count the number of insects feeding on a big tree, what kind of pyramid will you get? Okay, we will get inverted pyramid, because on single tree there are number of insects feeding on them. Okay, now add an estimate of large number of small birds depending on the insects, and also the number of large birds eating the smaller. Draw the shape and you will get what we will get. We will get inverted. The pyramid of biomass in sea is also generally inverted because the biomass of fish is far extend that of phytoplankton. So biomass pyramid will be inverted. Pyramid of energy is always upright and can never be inverted, because when energy flows from a particular trophic level to the next trophic level, some energy is always lost at heat at each level. Okay, this we have just seen. When it is moving from one trophic level to another trophic level, continuously energy is being lost. Each bar in the energy pyramid indicates the amount of energy present at each trophic level in given time or annually per unit area. Yes, now just see the last paragraph. However, there are certain limitations of ecological pyramid, such as it does not take into account the simple species belonging to two or more trophic level. Okay, so they have not shown these things. Limitations means drawback. Okay, so it does not take into account the same species belonging to two or more trophic level. It consumes a simple food chain, sometimes that almost never exist in earth. It does not accumulate a food web. Moreover, saprophytes are not given any place in ecological pyramid, even though they play a vital role in ecosystem. Okay, so even though they are playing a vital role, the place they have not mentioned. Okay, so this is about energy flow. We saw the two types. Okay, then we saw about ecological pyramid. Okay, and now the next topic, that is ecological succession. Okay, now I'll just explain this ecological succession with a small explanation. Yes, now an important characteristics of all communities is that composition and structure constantly change in response to changing environmental conditions. Okay, this we know that as the climate and as the environment is changing continuously, the composition and structure of all the communities, it is changing. Okay, so this change is orderly and sequential, parallel with the change in the physical environment. This change lead finally to communities that is in near equilibrium with the environment, and that is called as climax community. Okay, so those community, those organisms which are in near contact or which are in near equilibrium with the environment, they are usually called as climax community. Okay, the gradual and fairly predictable change in species compositions of a given area is called as ecological succession. Okay, so any change in the species of that particularly given area will be ecological succession. And during succession, some species colonize an area and their population become more numerous, whereas population of other species decline and even disappear. So this succession can change either the number into numerous, or they can make the species disappear. Okay, the entire sequence of communities that successively change in the given area are called sera. The individual transitional communities are termed serial change or serial communities. In the successive serial change, there is a change in diversity of species of organisms. Okay, so when the succession is going on, okay, when the environment is continuously changing, so change in the diversity of species of organism is found. Okay, the increase in the number of species is found, and organisms, as well as an increase in the total biomass is also found. Okay, so this succession is changing the ecology. The present day communities in the world have more to be because of succession that occurs over millions of years since life started on earth. Actual succession and evolution would have been parallel process at the time. Okay, so whenever the environment is changing, what is happening? We can say that the organisms are somehow changing themselves, either in the biomass or in number. So this changing is parallelly going. Okay, so succession is hence a process that starts with no living organism, and there these would be areas where no living organism ever exists, such as bare rocks, or in areas that somehow lost all the living organisms that exist. Okay, so we have successions where there were no living organisms. Okay, only rocks were there, barren lands were there, barren areas were there. As the succession was going on, okay, or we can say as the changes were going on, what happened? The living organisms became lost which was previously found there, previously existed there. So as the change was drastic, that converted into bare rocks. Okay, so we have two type of succession. Okay, where there were area where no living organisms ever existed. Okay, where bare lands or areas were there. that were called as, we call it as primary succession. Okay, and the second is called as secondary succession, where the loss of all the living organisms that existed here occurred. Okay, so this succession is a topic where we discuss two things in connection, that is the environment along with the organism. Okay, as the environment is changing, organisms are changing. So what is happening, where there were no organisms during succession, we found that the organisms were found. Okay, so that were basically called as primary succession. And secondary succession were death, where living organisms were present but their number decreased. Continuously lost of their living organisms were found. Okay, so with this I'll just finish with our lecture, because this topic succession is again a very big topic. So tomorrow I'll just explain the succession in detail, about what is primary succession, secondary succession, where it is taking place, how it has taken place during decades. Okay, because this is not within 1 year or 2 year process. This succession is taking place since ages and ages, billions of years ago. This changes happen, and as the changes happened, evolutions took place. Okay, so with this, I'll just end today's lecture. Hope you have understood whatever I've explained. Make notes and do study. Thank you and have a nice day.